चलो, let's take up service tax. Following sections are to be covered, to be remembered, rules and forms. एक बार फटाफट देख लेते हैं. Section 64 which deals with applicability of service tax. 65 105 deals with taxable services. 66 deals with rate. 67 deals with valuation. 68 deals with liability and payment. 69 deals with registration. 70 deals with return. 71 service tax return preparer scheme. 73A deals with deposit of tax. 73B late deposit of tax, interest will be levied. 75 is for late payment of service tax. 76, 77, 78 penalties. 80 waiver of penalty, and 93 is exemption. Now this part is not there in your syllabus, बट फिर भी हमने इसको किया है बिकॉज इस पे तो 2 बार क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है पीसीसी में, और इस पे भी लास्ट जून में ही फाइनल में भी क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है. तो एवरी टाइम, एंड इनफैक्ट इफ यू रिमेंबर 5-10 मिनट लगा था पेनल्टी करने के लिए, एंड यू कैन रिमेंबर इट वेरी नाइसली. रूल्स के अंदर फर्स्ट इट इज रूल नंबर 21D. रूल 21D वॉज रिलेटेड टू दैट लाइबिलिटी वाला, करेक्ट. रूल नंबर 4 दिस इज रिलेटेड टू व्हाट, रजिस्ट्रेशन. मैच दी कॉलम बना देता हूं. Rule number 5 was dealing with returns. Rule number 6 was dealing with payment of service tax. 7 was again dealing with returns. Forms की बात करें, ST1 is application, ST2 is registration certificate. 3 and 3A is for return. TR6 and GR7 is for payment. Now let's start from the day one. We started with the word tax. We said taxes are of 2 types. Direct and indirect. Indirect tax matlab the burden of tax can be shifted onto third party. The various types of indirect tax covered by our Indian laws are excise, customs, sale tax. Sales are of 2 types, sale of goods, sale of service. Service पे जो लगता है service tax, और goods पे जो लगता है that is sale tax. Then we said who will decide which government will collect the tax, because we have federal government, no? Federal का मतलब decentralized. Central government, state government, local government. So it is decided by our supreme authority, that is Constitution of India. So Constitution of India के अंदर there is one schedule, schedule number 7. There is a list 1, 2, 3. 1 के अंदर जो भी item आएगी the power is with central government. 2 के अंदर जो भी आइटम्स आएगी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. 3 के अंदर जो भी आएगी कंकरेंट, स्टेट एंड सेंट्रल बोथ कैन मेक द लॉज. कमिंग बैक टू इंडिया, इंडिया वाज प्राइमरीली व्हाट, अ एग्रीकल्चरल कंट्री. इंडिया के अंदर जो भी कंट्रीब्यूशन होता था नेशनल इनकम का, जीडीपी का, दैट वाज कमिंग फ्रॉम व्हाट, मेजर फ्रॉम एग्रीकल्चरल सेक्टर, थोड़ा बहुत फ्रॉम इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर एंड माइन्यूट फ्रॉम सर्विस सेक्टर. बट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम सिंस वी आर डेवलपिंग लाइक एनीथिंग, दिस सर्विस सेक्टर इज प्लेइंग अ डोमिनेंस रोल. अब डोमिनेंस रोल इस तरीके से हो गया कि बाय 2006-2007 ऑलमोस्ट more than 50% of the contribution was coming from this service sector. And apart from this, the government which was going towards this economic liberalization, globalization and everything, they have reduced custom duties to a very good extent. They have opened the trades between the different countries. तो एक तरीके से गवर्नमेंट का रेवेन्यू कस्टम का टूटता गया, दूसरे हाथ पे सर्विस सेक्टर बढ़ गया तो इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर कम हो गया, तो सरकार का एक्साइज रेवेन्यू भी क्या हो गया, कम होता गया. मतलब द एक्साइज एंड सेंट्रल कस्टम्स रेवेन्यू वाज गोइंग डाउन. गवर्नमेंट वाज इन अ प्रॉब्लम, इन अ desperate situation कि अब क्या करने का. So that time they have appointed a committee called as Tax Reforms Committee. This was headed by Dr. Raja Chillaiya. बराबर नाम याद है, बराबर. He said 2 proposals. One he proposed VAT. इंडिया में वैट वाला सिस्टम लेकर आओ. दूसरा इसने क्या बोला है कि ये जो सर्विस सेक्टर बढ़ता जा रहा है इसको पकड़ो और इसको क्या करो, टैक्स करो. सो ऑन हिज रिकमेंडेशन, for the very first time we introduced service tax in the year 1994 by covering 3 taxable services: telephone services, general insurance service and stock broking service. Initially the rate of service tax was decided as 5%, then it was 8%, then it was 10%, it 12%, and then again it is 10. So currently for all students attempting for November 09 exams, it is 10% of service. Then we move थोड़ा सा ahead, we said सर्विस नाम का शब्द उनको देखना पड़ेगा कहां पर है, बिकॉज यहां पर नहीं मिलेगा तो वो टैक्स नहीं लगा सकते. सो सर्विस वॉज नाइदर देयर इन लिस्ट 1, लिस्ट 2, लिस्ट 3, बट लिस्ट 1 में देयर इज वन थिंग कॉल्ड एज रेसिडुअरी एंट्री number 97. So central government levied service tax by taking the power from residuary entry of 97. Thereafter, after a certain period of time, say 10 years or so, amendments were made in the constitution, whereby a separate entry, entry number 92C was reserved for service, and article number 268A was inserted to give the power to the central government to collect the taxes. That was basic of service tax. पहले दिन का हमने start किया था. Then we came to approaches to service tax. Service tax के approaches. So there are two approaches, comprehensive approach, selective approach. अब comprehensive, if you remember, मैंने अपनी शादी का न्योता दिया था. Everyone is invited except few. So every service is taxable under comprehensive approach except few, for which there is a negative list. Whereas under selective approach, only selected items are taxable. Selected items are those which are mentioned in section number 65, 105. तो ये जो भी sections वगैरह है ये कहाँ से आए? सबसे पहली बात तो we were not having any constitutional power to levy service tax. So we cannot create an act called as Service Tax Act. So initially it was year 1994, the Finance Act of 1994 provided the power to tax services, and precisely it was chapter number 5 and 5A of Finance Act 1994. Selective services, those services